Welcome, Dad's DeFi space community. You all should know by now that Bitcoin is holding on by a thread. As you can see here, I guess we've gotten some bad news or something because Bitcoin, towards the end of this Memorial Day, is heading back down. If we cannot maintain and hold above 76K, in my opinion, uh, we're probably going to be revisiting our tariff capitulation lows around 74.6K. If we zoom out on Bitcoin's chart, because right now that's the main chart we should be looking at, you'll see something that I want you to see if you notice this or not. I try to mark pivot highs and range lows and things like that on my chart. But if you take a look, gosh, it's like off my chart almost. Hold on. Oh, there. I can't even keep it all on the chart. It's crazy. We are looking at stochastic RSI, and you can see we've had our orange cross. We are now red on the weekly. That is 3 weeks down. Or if we look here, we have only 1 day down, but we're 3 red weeks, it's looking like. And we'll have to wait and see how this one finishes out. But as you know, we've had a orange cross on the weekly here. Go down to the daily. We've already had an orange cross right here. We've already been working on this downtrend, an orange cross here where you saw this downtrend. And guess what? It looks like we're working towards another orange cross somewhere around here. So we're going to keep an eye on this. But these 3 red candles right here, I don't like the way they look. And I think we are getting close to our topping event. Bitcoin topping out, like what was that? Right around 82,000, 83,000. Don't know if we're going to get any higher. Now, if you've been watching my channel, then you know that I believe that we are going to touch back down, not just to the tariff capitulation lows, but we're going to go all the way back down to our 200-week moving average, which right now is still sitting right around 60K. I do believe we have not seen the low yet for this year. And honestly, that's what matters. The people, this is where traders and investors overtrade, get out of positions when they shouldn't. Sometimes the best thing to do, not financial advice, of course, is to sit on our hands. Now, those of you all that follow along, how am I positioning myself? Oh, well, I'm farming yield. I have my large Pendle stable yield positions that are earning like 15, 16% APY on those LPs. We are going to slowly start positioning ourselves for this next bull market, but we do think there is going to be another leg down. So we have de-risked most of our altcoins. And I may even start de-risking a little bit of my LPs depending, but right now we're not doing that just yet. So, to sum up my thesis, short term, this market looks fragile. Bitcoin is attempting to consolidate right above 77 to 80K. I don't think we're going to successfully do this. Structure still looks extremely weak overall, but why do I think that? We are printing lower highs on those smaller time frames, and the market still is not showing very strong acceptance back above resistance. Obviously, if we take a look at ETH, it looks even worse. We are definitely not trading above this range anymore. We're heading back down to our lower trading range, which is below 1840. Right now, Ethereum is sitting at around 2086. Thing is this matters more than people think, because if Ethereum is looking that weak, altcoins are going to bleed like crazy. Now, that means if you're farming correlated pairs, you better really believe in both those assets, because you are going to take on some volatility to the downside. Now, in the midterm, I think we're actually in an extremely emotional market right now. That's what's up with all the ups and downs. So if you've been getting shredded, don't blame yourself. This is an extremely difficult market to trade, but we are seeing relative strength in certain narratives such as AI, base ecosystem plays, infrastructure plays, and even some DeFi names. Now, one I would like to talk about is the hype token. Made a little money shorting this, also lost some money too. But I've really wanted to catch this top. This is absolutely crazy. If I go down on a lower chart and you see it's touched the bull market support band and went absolute crazy. I think those institutions are buying up for the hype ETF. but who knows? But this isn't one I'm wanting to play now. On the daily, we have now had 2 red days working on a third. Once we hit that third, I think it's confirming that we are gonna head back down. I would really like to be in a short for that. Zcash looks about the same, although I'm not gonna look at the chart today. But do understand that 2 things matter. Liquidity matters and narrative matters. Hype right now has had both of those things. Now, zooming out and looking at the big picture, you can see on the weekly, and yes, you can see that I have lines. This chart is so messy. So let's go to another one. Let's try the Binance one. This one's a lot better. Right here, you can see that we are zoomed out. I'm showing you 2 market cycles. Macro wise, as you can see right now, Bitcoin is in a bear market. This does not look pretty, does it? Not. It does not. And macro wise, Bitcoin, yes, it's our foundation. That's never changed. But if BTC loses the bull market support band right here, which I think it will, we're going back down to the range lows and probably lower. This would likely trigger more altcoin capitulation, forced liquidations, another range of emotional selling. And this is even though we have filled all the CME gaps. So right now, I'm more about survival and research and getting ready for the next bull than prediction, process over my own ego. It matters because a lot of people are looking at this red market and they're going to think everything's cheap, but I actually think we can even go lower. Something being down 50, 60% doesn't make it in value territory in crypto. This is where people confuse price destruction and liquidity leaving with opportunity. So, if you want more real time market updates and how I'm personally positioning in the market and navigating this environment day to day, I post this stuff all the time in our free Telegram group and over at DADSDEFISPACE.org. Check out our links in the description. Farm with us over on Krystal. We just started a new BNB vault that is going to be our DGen high yielding with protection vault. We're going to have an AI agent management, and please jump in, check that out, and follow along. And before we finish today, let's talk about what would confirm my thesis. Number 1, Bitcoin loses major support, liquidity is going to accelerate downward. ETH will break that psychological 2000 level. Altcoins are going to get a huge flush. That's why structure matters more than emotion. But what would invalidate my bearish thesis would be Bitcoin and ETH reclaiming and holding above the upper resistance range, and of course, staying above the bull market support band. ETH has to show relative strength to Bitcoin again. It has not. If you take a look at the Ethereum BTC chart, we are on a serious downtrend again, although we are hitting the mid-range of our downtrend channel. A lot of times when we've hit the mid-range, we bounce, so we'll have to wait and check that out. Just because this chart bounced doesn't mean that Bitcoin isn't still going down, so be aware of that. I would like to see more sustained volume coming back to the market and a more healthy risk appetite. We are seeing it a little bit in stocks, but we're definitely not seeing that in crypto. So, overall, my mindset right now is cautious but very observant. I'm not trying to predict every candle. I'm trying to just stay flexible because eventually the market's going to tell us what it's going to do, and we need to be prepared. So, if you want more practical crypto and DeFi education focused on structure, risk management, real market positioning, and how to actually use these protocols, head over to Dad's DeFi Space, join the free Telegram. If this video helped, comment below. Do you think this is a healthy consolidation and we're about to go to the next leg up? Or is this the start of a bigger liquidity breakdown? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Till next time, peace.